Hello everyone and welcome into the Digi Lounge, where we talk all things Digimon, from laid-back retrospectives to games to cards and everything in between. If you're a fellow fan of the digital universe, thanks for clicking and consider subscribing. And with the intro out of the way, let's get started. Welcome back to our retrospective series of Digimon Adventure, and today we're talking about episode 6, Togemon and Toy Town. This one's a weird ride, but it's got some genuinely great stuff in it, especially when you take a step back and think about it just a little bit. So let's jump right into it. Now, we open with the kids in the sewers that they entered into at the end of the last episode, and they're just passing time by singing together. And of course, Mimi jumps in with her own little tune, and TK just roasts her for it with one quick line.
Hey, come on, I had singing lessons for 3 years. Oh, you did? Did it help?
Now, I brought this up in a previous video, but the English writing on this show really does not get enough credit for its humor. It's such a small moment, but it's genuinely funny to me, and it's the kind of joke you don't expect from a show that's about kids fighting monsters in a digital world. But then the tone shifts, because a drop of water lands on Sora's shirt and stains it, and that little thing sets her off thinking about home. She starts thinking about simple things like how she used to hang laundry, and then the other kids start chiming in too. Ty misses sports and a hot bath, Matt misses steak, Joe misses homework, of all things, but hey, that's Joe, and TK misses his video games. And it's a small scene, but it's an important one, because this is really the first time we're sitting with the idea that these kids are homesick now. Up until now, the show has mostly been, oh no, monster, run away. But here we get a beat where the show slows down and goes, hey, these are still just kids who got yanked away from their normal lives. And you can feel that starting to weigh in on them a little more with each episode. Now, naturally, that quiet moment gets interrupted, and here come the Numemon. Now, if you don't remember these guys, they're basically just goo monsters who throw, well, what the English dub just politely calls sludge. The kids get chased out of the sewer, and you'd think that'd be the last of them, but nope. The Numemon show up back almost instantly once the kids reach the surface, and this time, they're hiding out in a bunch of vending machines, and you come to find out they've all fallen head over heels for Mimi. It's kind of a ridiculous gag, but it does pay off, and hey, it's Digimon, so you just kind of roll with it. Now, after escaping the Numemon a second time, we get our first look at Monzaemon, and honestly, this is one of the most memorable designs in the early episodes. He's this giant teddy bear who runs an amusement park, and he seems all cute and cuddly right up until he starts firing lasers out of his eyes, which is pretty rad if you ask me. And that contrast is what makes him work. You're not expecting a plush toy to suddenly be a walking weapon of destruction, and that gap between adorable and actually kind of terrifying is a big part of why this episode sticks with people. And that ties directly into Toy Town itself once we get there, which really does have this unique vibe to it. Walking through it almost feels like you've stumbled into a theme park, like something out of Disney, except it's sitting right in the middle of the digital world. It's such a strange, specific setting for the show to build an episode around, and that's honestly part of the charm. It doesn't feel like every other forest or cave they've wandered into so far. Now, before they got there, during all the madness, Mimi and Palmon had separated from the group, and now go looking for the others, and they find them acting completely bizarre in Toy Town, running around mindlessly chasing toys, repeating how much fun they're having in this flat, zombie-like way. It does what the factory did in our last video by presenting us a unique location with a mystery hook, and by now you can also assume that Monzaemon is under control of a black gear. And it's cool seeing the show reuse the idea of a black gear, rewiring a Digimon's personality, except this time, it's less about hostility and more about forcing everyone into forced happiness, which honestly might be more creepy. Now eventually, Mimi finds out her friend's Digimon partners have all been locked away in a chest, and she and Palmon go off to confront Monzaemon completely on their own. And this is where the episode gets really fun, because the Numemon, the same gross little sludge monsters who were chasing Mimi around just minutes earlier, jump in to protect her. And they really don't accomplish much. They mostly just get swatted aside. But Mimi is touched that they even tried. And that emotional boost, the fact that these disgusting little creatures are willing to throw themselves in harm's way just because they think she's cute, is what helps Palmon to digivolve into Togemon. And when you actually sit with that for a second, it's kind of hilarious. The single, girliest character in the group gets her big power-up moment because the most repulsive Digimon in the show decides she was worth protecting. That's such a weird, perfect combination, and it's very on brand for how this show blends genuine heart with straight-up absurdity at the same scene. From there, Togemon with her simple but iconic creature design basically boxes Monzaemon into submission, a black ear pops out of him, and just like that, he's back to his normal, cheerful self. No hard feelings, right? Everyone gets reunited, and the episode wraps up. Now look, this episode isn't going to blow anyone away with a deep plot, but it's still got a lot going for it. The homesick stuff gives the kids some real depth. Monzaemon is a fun, memorable Digimon. Toy Town is a real creative setting. And the Togemon Digivolution has this great little emotional hook buried underneath all the silliness. Yes, it's a weird episode, but you know what? It's a fun weird. And that's exactly the kind of thing that makes going back through this show still worth it. Thanks for rewatching episode 6 with me, but these were all just my thoughts and opinions. Let me know down in the comments how you felt, and I will see you in the next video.